I don't think we could say that word.
Like, full on, like, I'm on the short bus and I eat sandwiches upside down.
No, Josh, I went to Southland. I read books and I'm a memoir scientist. How do you make these forward?
Yeah, Isaac, this isn't a podcast about being a memoir scientist. This is a budget thing.
Tell me that's not a thing, Ty.
That's not a thing.
What?
We are a drunken paranormal podcast based in the Midwest. We talk about the Midwest. We are drinking hams. We are drinking Pecatonica beer. We have High Life, Corona, Ab 12. We got Gunpowder Jim. We got some Corbel. I have some iced tea on the table. I'll put some liquor in that. We're eating some Oots or Utz brand cheddar cheese balls. Utz or Oots, who cares? We got a few people's stories today, but you know what, Josh? I'm going to let you tell us a story. Josh, lay it on us. Oh, I didn't even introduce everybody. We have Josh. We have Jason. And Isaac.
Bah. I'm sorry, guys. I had a mouthful of cheese balls. I can get us back.
Josh has balls in his mouth. Take her away.
They don't fill up his whole mouth, though, when I use them.
They are cheesy.
What?
You should take a shower.
Who, me or Josh?
All right.
Both of you.
The first thing I'm going to do is ask each and every one of you to, starting with Isaac, because I know it's going to be the hardest.
What?
Isaac, can you do me a favor and spell Mississippi?
Mississippi.
Correct.
Kiss me.
No.
Tyler, why won't no one kiss me at this table?
So, if you want to kiss Isaac, you can send a message to What You Think.
Always looking for volunteers.
And then,
man!
And then
kiss me.
And then we will delete them.
What?
Yep.
Okay, Josh, why'd you ask me to spell that?
So I asked you to spell that because the topic I'm covering right now is the 1810 through 1811 Great Mississippi River Earthquake.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When we took that trip, I believe it was in 1814.
Oh.
Was that not included in that time frame that you just said?
You went down the mighty Mississippi.
Was it me, Tyler, and Johnny Horton?
Johnny Horton
and we
was
had
there.
Gator. We had Gator with us with a cannonball in it. Hell yeah,
Johnny Horton.
Is that Chris's last name?
All we took is a little bacon and we took little beans.
Is that Chris's?
Wrangle?
Santa Claus? About Santa Claus?
Chris Kringle?
Yeah.
All right, we're wrangling this back in. Josh, tell us a story.
Let me put the cork back in his gin.
What's going on right now?
Yeah, we have to cork his gin.
So for those of our listeners who have never been to the Mississippi River Museum in
Dubuque.
Really? The Great Mississippi River Earthquake occurred in the early 1800s, December 16th, 1811. So the first European settlers, or actually American settlers, were just reaching the Missouri Territory, as it was called at the time. It wasn't even a state. That night, what is suspected to be a 9.0 earthquake, or what they would call on the West
Richter
Coast
scale,
the big one, struck New Madrid, Missouri. The result...
Spain?
Yes,
Madrid?
yeah.
Are we going back to Missouri for this episode?
I don't know why, but all of my stories lead us back to Missouri. So, maybe because I'm in misery. But
maybe it's because you're ugly.
Well,
we're wrangling back in. Josh, we're 5 minutes in. Let's go.
Listeners, if you will excuse me, I'm just going to go fucking kill myself, I guess. But before I do, I'm going to tell you about this great earthquake. So, of the few fur trapping settlements that had reached the Mississippi, almost none of them had spread farther than a few miles outside of the Mississippi River. The fur trappers were just exploring the depths of like the Missouri wilderness, and there weren't many European settlements in the area. What we did know is that there were 2 or 3 ships that survived going up the Mississippi at the time, and a few log cabins that didn't manage to be swallowed by the earth. So, if you guys don't know this, the Richter scale is logarithmic. Isaac, can you spell logarithmic?
LOH rhythmic.
That's close enough. I'll take it.
All right, Buster.
He did do his best on that.
I'm from
So-
Browntown.
He is from Browntown.
But basically, it's what? Every like one number up. So, like, say you go from like a 7 to an 8 is like a 10-fold increase in power.
That
That's
is
10 times
correct.
stronger.
Sorry they don't have earthquakes where I grew up, okay? And I don't need to
They
learn about it.
do. That's the problem. And
Sorry
this
they don't
is
know
one
how
of
to
them.
swim, Josh.
Isaac, we had one in high school, and Tommy Butts said he felt it.
What else did we miss in high school, Ty? Did we miss anyone having a seizure or
I was
anything?
just going to talk about that.
Wrangle.
Oh, man. We went to the computer lab.
We're just roaming the halls. What happened to
Wrangle.
Chad?
Wrangle.
What? We missed it? Go ahead, Josh. Sorry I blew up.
I love that. I knew you were going to say that.
So this earthquake caused what?
Educational and informal.
This earthquake caused what could only be considered anomalous phenomena.
The most phenomenal.
Like Isaac having sex.
Yes.
Was that a good analogy? Tell me that wasn't
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
Jason,
So-
give me a kiss.
So
Come here.
for a
For
broad
real,
view,
for real.
For a broad view of this, the Mississippi River started flowing backwards.
I like when you think about
Waterfalls not only appeared, but were flowing in the wrong direction. So water flowing up the waterfall.
That's a water climb, not no
Fact check.
waterfall.
Where's the one river in the world that switches directions one time a year? Only river in the world.
I don't know this one.
Does it
Really?
like lead into like the Bay of Fundy or something where it's like off the tides? Like, I don't know.
Riri? It's in Cambodia.
Riri.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
All right. Back to the
Back to America. So the Mississippi River started flowing backwards, and it caused what could only be described as sand volcanoes.
That sounds terrible, Josh.
The fissures that it caused in the Mississippi River released so much gas trapped in the earth that
It just like expelled sand. that
no.
was, in the
This
soil.
is unrelated to the sand volcanoes. So much gas was released in the Mississippi River in areas that boats were no longer buoyant. So they just immediately sank to the bottom.
Oh, so like that Mythbusters episode when they're talking about the Bermuda Triangle, where
Yes,
it's like
where they have
methane
the
gas can come up and it just like sinks it because you can't stay there.
Yep. And then in about 100-mile radius, there was localized what is described as
Meth labs.
ground liquefaction.
So that is a pretty standard thing with like certain soil types, especially if, like, if
And
it
it's
is a
very
little bit-
sandy.
Yep, like where if it vibrates to a certain point, like foundations can or just anything.
It's like
really
super
solid.
quicksand.
Exactly. Like the shaking causes like things to just like settle into it.
So everything
It's
from
a goddamn CHT column all over again.
yes, it is a CHT column. It is horse teeth. So whole settlements, Native American campsites, some of the first American settlements in Missouri were all destroyed by this earthquake. There was one academic who was on the river in Missouri. He was heading up, and the report was they thought that thunder struck the ship. They thought, lightning hit it, there was a fire, and then they walked out, and then it happened again and again and again. From their estimates, they think that the aftershocks over the next 2 days were still in the 7 and 8s of the Richter scale, and the first was 9. And if we had an accurate scale at the time, there are some historians that think this could have been theoretically a 10.
So was there, I guess, is there an active fault line there, or it just happened in the middle of nowhere?
No, there is no active fault. This is, by geologists, this is considered a mystery. It is what is called an intra-fault episode. So in the middle of the North American plate, they think a lava fissure came up and pushed the plate up.
So it's one of those like as it kind of like comes.
So the earth
like,
kind of burped.
Yes.
yeah. So like it
This was caused
spins
by a
out that
crust
area
fart.
as like
I've had a few crust parts in mine too.
Josh just did. We interrupted it. I'm sorry, Josh.
Jason, you were talking. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Not as good as crust farts.
So, I mean, I remember one of the biggest stories that our dad told us about this when we were a kid, that like oh, there's a group of Native Americans that got swallowed up.
Yes. So that's the thing, is there were only a few towns and cities that were colonized by the Americans at this time. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of Native American settlements in the area that, from what we can tell, just disappeared. The ground liquefaction event around the Mississippi River, because it is all, and for those of us who have been over there, there's a lot of sand, right? The ground literally turned into a liquid less dense than water, and they said there was whole forests that sank like 20 feet into the ground.
That's throughout history, written history of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
As every time it floods, everyone just dies, basically.
Well, this wasn't even a flood. This was, the ground just shook, and they were saying there was a wave that traveled, because it came from basically the southern tip of Missouri. A wave basically pushed the Mississippi River
the wrong way
for over 100 miles.
So what was there, like a tidal wave? What was
a tsunami?
Because like
it was basically a Mississippi River tsunami, but it
originated where?
So it came out, I guess, from the epicenter.
So the epicenter,
so it also pushed it downwards too.
So
it
was
did.
An upwelling that happened in that area that just kind of like displaced all the water.
So basically the whole ground, basically the southern tip of Missouri, where it meets
Canada,
where it touches the Mississippi River, the most bottom part is where this earthquake happened.
Kind of like near the Tennessee border almost.
Yeah. And this wave traveled as far north as Minnesota.
Iowa.
Probably like up to like the falls around like Holland.
Sioux Falls.
Well, this is before there was any locks and dams.
Lock and key officer.
Yeah, so just like went up to like the falls up there around like St. Paul.
Probably. But it also created new falls. So
I want old falls, Josh.
It created like 2 new major lakes on the Mississippi River. By diverting it, it pushed up the Mississippi riverbed so far that it blocked rivers coming in, and they just turned into lakes afterwards.
So I guess another thing that happened too, I imagine, is other smaller rivers probably had their water pushed backwards too.
Oh yeah, it went all the way up the Missouri. It went all the way up the Rock and the Root and
perhaps the Pecatonica.
Definitely up the Pecatonica.
Because we're enjoying some Pecatonica beer right now. I did right on some
Pecatonica beer.
I guess this isn't more of a, hey, what do you think about this? Because this is.
I'll tell you what I think. This is friggin' terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it could happen again, right? We don't really know what caused it.
No. So, see, the problem is, for most major historical earthquakes, they occur in areas that have an active fault. So, areas over in the Mediterranean, out on the West Coast.
Ring of Fire.
We have, anywhere in the Ring of Fire, there's a logical reason for why these earthquakes have happened. We supposedly live in the middle of a static plate that shields us from all these events. We remember the earthquake that we experienced, and that was, like a 3.4? It wasn't.
I never felt it.
I didn't feel it either, but we remember everybody talking about it.
Yep.
It shook a couple bricks loose in Chicago, and that was about it. This earthquake made the biggest river in the world run backwards. It made whole towns and probably cities sink into the ground. Cahokia is probably 5 feet shorter because of it. And there's no way to predict it because we're not on a fault. There's no early tremors. And they say the aftershocks were full earthquakes. They describe them as aftershocks, but they expect that the first one was at least a solid 9. It might have been one of the few earthquakes that we could have known in human existence to register above that. But the aftershocks, they measured at like 7.7s for the next month. And then for 2 to 3 months later, they were still getting 5.5, what they said were aftershocks from this earthquake.
Oh,
So
what earthquake was it?
I'm going to hit you with a chair.
So, you remember how I was going to tell you about the rivers that switch directions?
Yeah.
Mississippi is one of them.
Yes.
It's only done it twice.
Yes.
With what hurricanes, Josh?
I'm not talking about hurricanes.
Well, it doesn't switch then. You're lying.
So it did switch with this, but it also switches with hurricanes, Isaac?
Yep.
Because it floods?
Katrina and Isaac.
Uh-huh.
Really? Fucking hate Isaac.
But the only one that actually switches every year is the Tonelli Sapribia Cambaya.
Alrighty. So I think one of the,
Alrighty.
I think one of the coolest stories about this or relating to this is like there's a lot of historical events that happen where people are like, oh, that's a sign, right? Like
End of times.
well, not even end of times, but like
Cataclysmic.
I can't remember was it Magellan that had the eclipse happen when he was
Yes.
traveling around the world, and they
Yep.
predicted that, and they're like, oh, he's a god. So everybody's heard of the Battle of Tippecanoe,
Yep.
right? And like Tecumseh, the Native American Tecumseh. So the Native Americans, the Shawnee, had a prophet named Tenskwatawa, or I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but basically he said this was a sign
Of
of the downfall of the Cherokee. You know, like this was a sign from their gods that they were going to lose, and this is, you know,
That's a hell of a way to do it.
yeah. So I think it's kind of crazy that like people find events like this as like, oh, this is a warning from our gods that things are about to change, or this, and obviously there was a big change after that, right?
Yeah, because this happened from 1811 through 1812. 1812, we see major westward expansion by American settlers beyond the Mississippi River Valley. That is when we basically push and drive all the Native American tribes that don't sign treaties over the Mississippi under Andrew Jackson. And it was the fall.
So kind of crazy, this prophet.
But also, imagine you're just walking along and the ground just liquefies.
Well, yeah.
And then you're dead.
It's
Lava!
it's not quicksand. It's really, really fast sand.
Yeah,
And
then
you're
you
falling
just
in.
sink into it, and then that's it.
Not even just sand. Like there was a ton of farmers who reported that their fences were only sticking a foot out of the ground because all their cabins all shrunk, all of their fences, all the posts vibrated down into the mud.
You know what, Josh? I would have survived that because I'm built different. But I guess
though. He's not.
I'm actually built worse. I guess
His back hurts right now.
it does.
You
actually.
can't jump. I feel like this is a jumping
back!
problem.
Oh.
That's the one thing I can do really well. But let's go around the table and talk about, I guess, what do you think about this? You think this is a weird natural phenomenon that happens every once in a while, Isaac? Is this something that we just don't know about? Like the scientists don't really understand, plate tectonics and all of the...
I think that exact same.
Oh, really?
It's a spin-off, happens every once in a while, right? It's not like a guaranteed thing. But happens,
but it could be predictable, potentially, or it is a natural thing that...
I think it's natural. I don't think it's predictable. Maybe. I don't know, right? But I don't think it's like weird to think it would happen, right?
On a geological timescale, maybe not, right? Like, so that happened a
that's
couple
millions of years.
couple hundred years ago, and in geological timelines, that's snap of your
Nothing.
fingers.
No.
I guess, Jason, what do you think about the whole event?
So something that's like kind of neat about it is compared to like other like large earthquakes that happen like maybe like 100 years later, like the big San Francisco one that like destroyed the entire thing.
And then caught on fire.
It did catch on fire, but like the effects of it were not really felt a whole lot outside of like the like Southwest or whatever, versus like with this one, and maybe it had to do with it wasn't really on like a like plate boundary fault, but with this one, like they had like from the same like shock bells ringing in like Richmond, Virginia, and all sorts of stuff like that. Like there were
The craziest thing is this earthquake basically rang every church bell from Virginia to Canada and down to Louisiana. It shook half of the United States.
So the widespread area where it was felt is like so much larger than like a lot of the other stuff going on. And like it was mostly all from like a weakening of a fault, like not so much like an active like two faults either like riding each other or splitting apart kind of thing. Like it's just there's like
Isaac's smiling. I'm also smiling. We're thinking about what Jason just said.
My bad. So
I missed it.
It's like a weakness where they're coming apart, and it's just like that release of compressive forces where it just like all of a sudden relaxes, and that's what causes it to like split apart and cause that.
All right, Isaac.
I was hand gesturing your.
I can see hand gesturing. This is a podcast, and we don't do video yet. Emmanuel's going to hook us up, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Jason's fucking bro. Emmanuel.
Jason!
He's
I
got a
thought we
good
were kissing.
Isaac.
Yeah?
Josh, what do you think?
This is fucking terrifying.
You mean terrifying?
Okay, that's what Josh thinks.
I'm being honest. This is a catastrophe of biblical proportions.
My turn!
The ground turns to liquid. The rivers flow backwards. The church bells ring. The Native Americans sink into the ground and all drown in the sand.
All
It's
those things happen
awful.
yearly, Josh. This happens every year. Have you been to Canada?
No.
He is not.
Oh.
Yes, you have.
No, I
On a
haven't.
layover.
Fuck, I have been to Canada.
Yeah, on the way
You
to
guys
Japan.
let me go to
On
Canada.
the way to Japan! Jason,
All right.
what
I'm
do you
gonna
think?
reel us back in. He already went.
Regal,
It's my turn.
drink.
Jason went?
I did go.
It's my turn.
Jason
He
actually
made-
went?
Yes, you were making the hand gestures when he went.
Josh, do you remember that?
You were being weirdly sexual with those hand gestures.
It's my
I
turn.
just wanted a kiss.
It's my
Not
turn,
weird.
Isaac.
There's nothing weird about
He
that.
does want that kid.
I actually think we don't understand plate tectonics as well as we think we do. You know, as Isaac kind of alluded to.
It's going to get a lot worse when he asks Isaac what he thinks because he is not as
I
intelligent.
already asked you what you think.
Did I already go?
You were the
Yes!
first guy to go.
Seriously?
I
Go ahead,
I
Tyler.
also think it's pretty scary. The one thing I wish we had more information on, you know, for earthquakes, a lot of times you'll see like rainbows and lightning and all this other stuff happening.
I will bring up there are no recorded reports of those because those are pretty common around earthquakes. You see auroras,
Magnetic storms.
you see rainbows. This is one of the largest earthquakes ever
that just
felt.
happen.
in like I would say in modern recording history. Like we had the printing press, like people were literate, they could understand what was going on.
What do you mean, people?
People,
Oh,
human
carry on.
beings,
Not you, not a
not
creature.
whatever the heck.
But hey, we're drinking Pecatonica. We're drinking St. Bernardus. We have Corona. We have Miller High Life. We have Gold Peak iced tea. That's not alcoholic, but that's okay. We have Gunpowder Gin. We have Corbel. And we might take a little smoky treat after this at the cigar bar. We're actually not going there. But this is Up What You Think.
Oh, all right.